You guys, I am so sorry. I made a mistake. It's a GH spotlight. I made a mistake. I didn't send Frank the correct recording link. So I don't know if he's going to join us or not. It's my fault. I was sitting here waiting for it. I'm like, oh, and I realized I did not send him the right link or whatever. So I hope he comes on. So we're going to talk about some housekeeping, and maybe like, if he doesn't come on, it'll be us today, I guess. But I'm so sorry, Frank, if you're watching this later, not on here. Hi everybody. I did not mean to come on so late, but I had to not. I didn't want to not come on because we got stuff to talk about. So we do some little setups and see if he comes on. I literally sent him the wrong link. I sent a message, so we'll see if it works. I hope everybody's doing okay. It's the week before Thanksgiving. That's crazy talk, right? Crazy, crazy talk. Let's see. Here we go. I'm setting up, so I'm doing my little setups. I'm still in San Francisco. I leave tomorrow, so I'm very excited to go back towards my neck of the woods. I'm tired. I think I said Frank the wrong thing because I've been traveling a lot for work. I am tired of traveling. I am. So we'll see if he. Oh my God. Hi, Jason, Janice, Sabrina, Rodelli, Annie. Everybody's coming in. We got things to talk about. So hopefully he'll come on. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I totally messed up. But hey, I've been doing this show for almost 9 years. But dude, we have been doing it for 9 years. I've done it for a while. I'm tired. I'm tired, guys. I don't want top chat. I want all chat. I want all chat. So, but I sent it to him. So hopefully he'll come on. I gotta look at I gotta have that screen up. Everything's good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. First, before we start, it's a church announcements. We do all that. Maybe he'll come on by then. So of course there's no wine on B&B. Main spotlights. Don't know when they're gonna start. Probably after the first of the year. Don't anything right now. We may do a special in January, in December. Who knows? After this, Dish and Days, our buddies over there, like Chocolate Twin Tony and all of them, will be doing their show, of course. And I'll be at 3 o'clock their time, our time, on their channel. I was going to say on their channel. So you'll be able to see it there, and they're good. They always mention me, so I'm mentioning them. And so it's a lot of fun. We're all the same as Soap Sunday. Also, I want to bring out to you, we do have after shows for Aaron Hernandez and for Monsters, for Menendez. So check those out here on audio. They're audio. We talk about it. I'm going to do the last episode 10 this week. So you'll have the whole season to watch. If you watch them, you can watch more there, but they're on all streaming service platforms. Make sure I say that. I am on Blue Sky. You guys are wondering, I'm on as James Lott Jr. and JLJ Media. I got both names. So it's like jljmedia.bsky.social. James Lott Jr. at bsky.social. I mean, I am over there, and I'm just amazed that everybody's over there because they're all over there. It's crazy. I'm noticing my counts on Instagram going down. Not Instagram, X going down. So do that. I have not seen Wicked yet, so don't ask me questions about Wicked. I haven't seen it yet, the movie. Other than that, rest in peace to Chuck Woolery. He won't be back in 2 and 2. After all, I know how to do it. He was like my teenage years. He was like the love connection was the bomb. He was smooth. He was suave. He was like it's the original dating show. Like it was the bomb. But the 2 and 2, I will never forget. I still do it to this day. So rest in peace to Chuck Woolery, 83 years old. A nice long life. We get out there, get that out there. And I'm going to read something because I'm sure you guys already know. Well, we got to talk about it. We got to talk about it. Okay. Chad Duell is lethal. He actually, Chad Duell put it out first before anybody else, which is a thing. Frank Valentini says there are no plans to recast the role at this time, but you never know. So Frank is the Frank's thing. There's no plans to recast him. Um, but here's the thing about um, here's what he said. I just want to make sure you guys all hear what he said if you haven't read it. For those who don't know, he wrote, and I quote, after many incredible years at General Hospital, I have decided to step away from the show. It wasn't an easy decision for me, but I feel like it's the right time in my life. I am beyond grateful to Frank Valentini, the cast, crew, and everyone behind the scenes who have been like family to me throughout this amazing journey. To all the fans, that's you guys, thank you from the bottom of my heart for your unwavering support and letting my Quintos be a part of your lives. Your love and so astound me and mean the world to me. This isn't goodbye. Let's see you later. Much love, Chad. He put that out first. I was like, wow, that's crazy. I'm like, okay. So I did not see this coming. I but I'll tell you guys, not surprised. He's been on the show for a long time. He's still youthful. He wants to go out there and try other stuff. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. These actors aren't making any money on these shows anymore like they used to. This job, this not they're not paying like they used to. They're not doing the job they used to. That's why a lot of them have side gigs, side hustles, and other things. They're doing all these. He's actually doing one in January. They do fan events because they get paid to do these and stuff. So it's just one of those things. It's like I don't blame him. He's probably like I'm trying to do something else. Maybe I gotta make some more money. Who knows? It's one of those things I get. And actors usually don't stay on jobs that long. So it's, but the thing I just want to say is I'm seeing a reaction, of course. This is because this is online, of course. You can't mix it up with Kelly Monaco. It's a whole separate situation. And I know people are speculating all this stuff behind the scenes. I don't think there's any speculation to really be had. It's just he's ready to move on, probably not making enough money, ready to move on. I mean, and that's life. I mean, that's just people do that. They move on to other jobs. So I don't know. I guess it just doesn't. I'm not looking to any conspiracies or anything like that, or try to put the two together. Like, oh my God, you didn't, because Frank spoke out on Chad. He didn't say anything about Kelly or whatever. So people are like, that's two separate things, folks. I mean, Chad's goodbye is something different. And since he's saying it now, it must be happening soon. So that's the thing. Now, there have been several. I see Marlon's already said one thing in here. I've been seeing speculation. Frank says, I'm not doing a recast right now. So it's not happening. So that could be whatever. Robert Adamson has been a person who has stepped in. There's certain, like Lindsay Hartley stepped in for Sam. I think it was one of the Cartwright sisters stepped in for Monica. Adam Huss stepped in for Nicholas. So I don't think I don't know anything. Obviously, I'm not on the show. I don't work for them, but I highly doubt that Robert will be brought on as full time as a recast. I feel like some of these recasts they've brought on were just temporary because, like, why didn't you Lindsay Hartley or why? I think they're just brought on to fill in, and that's it. I don't think they're being brought on. I feel like they wanted them full time to be on full time, but again, I don't know, and I don't know anything. I don't work for them, so I have no idea. Also, people are mentioning Drew Garrett, who played him before that. Now, I know Drew Garrett, and I interviewed him several years ago. And he's of age, of course, now. A lot of people liked him as the teenage Michael. But again, I have no idea what's going to happen with that. Actors come and go; they do, and he had a good run. I almost think it's good to put, Michael's very connected to everybody. So I have a feeling the character will be back. But maybe they'll give it a little rest for a second. And that's fine. It's a large cast. Give someone else a chance to have some lines and act. So I'm okay with that. And I mean, it's a large cast, a very large bloated cast, and half the people are not doing anything. So there you go. But I thought it was actually cool that Chad was able to announce it himself, and then everybody got onto it. So I think it was quite cool. He was able to do it himself. So we're gonna mourn the loss of Chad Duell as Michael Corinthos. Now I'm very curious where the storyline is going then. That's going to be very interesting now to see where this goes. Because again, we did not expect it. I like surprises. I do. I like surprises on daytime. We don't get very many that much. So that's the thing. So, there you go. So Chad is leaving. I wish him the best. I hope that he lands on his feet. Being an actor means you get other jobs, and hopefully he'll get other jobs. So we'll see maybe another show will snatch him up, or maybe a primetime show or a streaming show. There's a lot of opportunities right now. I know back, 10, 15, 20 years ago, people left. They only had a few opportunities. They didn't have that many. I don't like that my hair keeps disappearing in this. This is getting on my nerves. So there you go. So you got it. That's the latest news of that. My hair disappearing is getting on my nerves. I tried to have my hair down for you guys, but it's looking weird in here. Much better. Okay. So we're going to move on. There you go, everybody. We're going to move on. And Frank's, I see perfect timing. I knew it. Perfect timing. That was perfect. Like, we can ask him what he thinks is perfect timing. He's coming in. Frank, oh, sorry. I told you it was my fault. I thought I sent you the right link. I didn't. And then I'm sitting at 1:30 going, where is he? And I'm like, I'm the idiot. So I just did church announcements. I said, I would do church. I sent him the link, and then I will just do church announcements, and maybe he'll come on. And you came on.
I just felt your like the heavenly presence just pulling me in. So here I am.
He's here. Well, now we need your opinion because we just talked about it. Sorry, folks, I want to hear Frank's opinion. Chad Duell's leaving as Michael.
Man, what that was a surprise seeing
Yeah.
that news yesterday. Holy cow. Um, and interesting that Frank tweeted that as of right now, no plans to recast.
Nope.
So I can't imagine they're going to kill him. So there's going to be some reason he's off camera. I mean, I feel
I
like
know,
this,
right?
yeah. I mean, we've had well, we've raved about like the uh, I mean, we've raved about how great and exciting the Willow and Michael marriage is. So, you know, I don't know. I mean, it's a bummer that I mean, he's leaving, I guess. I don't know. I mean, the character, I'm also down if the character's gone for a little bit, a little reset. Some characters, I feel like almost any character on the soap can always use just a little breather. But who knows? I mean, Michael's been recast so many times as a child that it's not like nobody else could play that role if they decided to, 6 months or a year later to take over. But how do you feel about not having Michael on as a day-to-day character?
Well, we just said, I'll just repeat for folks so Frank can hear. Hi, GH Sunday Shift. Hi, you guys. I knew Frank was a super Milo shipper. How funny. I'm so funny. She's laughing. Yes. Oh, we hate that couple. The fact that they're breaking up now makes us excited. That's what's shocking because the story, like, he's so involved in so many storylines right now, and he's connected to so many people. Now I'm just curious how to go write him out. I'm just like, how's this going to work out? I mean, but I'm like you. I go, and I said it, and you guys, I know, I just said it. Maybe it's time to let him take a little breather. The character, I don't know, it's a bloated cast still. Let's give someone some chances. let's give him a chance. Go away for a while, and then come back. Then they bring him back better than ever. Maybe he runs in Aurora Peace or like ALQ somewhere in Europe, goes over there and does that for a while. I don't think we need anything super dramatic. Just put him over there, and then he comes back home one day. Whoever that is. And so we were bringing up Drew Garrett, the guy who played it before him, who I know and I've interviewed, or Robert Adamson, who's been playing him as a replacement. I said, but those replacements have not come on as full-time characters. None of them. So Lindsay Hardy didn't come on as Sam. Adam Huston didn't come on as Nicholas. Like it seems like they only want them for when they need them. So I don't think they're going to do it. I don't think he's going to get the job.
I mean, admittedly, I mean, it would be cool to see Drew Carey come back. Why not? I mean, and he's, looking like a hunk these
Yeah.
days as well. So,
It's just funny. It's like, again, this was not on our bingo card, as they say. The kids say, and everybody was just shocked. It was a Saturday afternoon. We're like, what? And he announced it himself first. That's what's kind of funny. He got to announce it first himself. And it was like on a Saturday, just like, that's it.
yeah, and boy, I don't know. There's at least in that tweet from Frank that he sent out, the reaction from the responses that he was getting there, like, oh, given the way you treated Kelly, or you've
I
never,
know.
like, oh, so
I
yeah,
go, there's nothing for he fired Kelly Monaco, folks. What is he going to say? I mean, that's it. I mean, it's over. And whatever he said wouldn't have been good enough for you guys anyway. If he said, I'm sorry, I had to fire her or whatever, you guys wouldn't be happy anyway. So I'm glad he didn't say nothing. I kept saying, this is separate. This thing with Chad Duell is a separate situation. That's what I keep telling people. It's separate, separate, separate.
look at Dante. Dominic left the show for a while, and
Yep.
then after a few years, he came back. And so that might be the same case that could happen with Chad, maybe.
Yeah, let him go out there, see what's going on. Maybe, and that's the whole thing. So, but it's a character that's tied to a lot of people. So we do know that character will be back at some point. He will be. He will at some point, folks. But it's a nice, but interesting surprise. It's an interesting surprise. Also, just wanted to get your thoughts on real quick. We had a loss in the daytime community today, and he will not be back in 2-2.
Oh,
Chuck Woolery. I had to do it, Frank. I had to do it.
yes.
He
Look
was
at you.
smooth. He was like the bomb. Love Connection was the bomb, kids.
Yeah. Um, I will choose to remember Chuck back in those good days of watching The Love Connection and various game shows.
Yes.
Scrabble.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. And less dwelling on any of the more recent social media
Right.
appearances that Chuck would weigh in on. So
I mean, too. I'm ignoring that too. I'm going to ignore that and go back to the other stuff. But he deserves his props. He does. Again, I'll be 2-2 and 4. I always do it all the time. I'll be back in 2-2.
yeah.
I love it. Love it.
I
Love
just how big like Love Connection was.
Yes.
Holy cow. Yes.
Because I did a whole series on one of my shows about the 90s and 2000s, kind of like Eliminate, Blind Date, all those. This predates that. That was the dating show.
Hmm.
And also audience interactive. We get 3 people. Who do you vote for? Like, it was a whole thing, folks. It was a whole thing. It was. And like I said, back in the day, it was the game show. It was game show time. I was like, yeah, it was. And he was one. But he was smooth. And he had a name called Chuck Woolery. Like he had to be a host. Had to be, right. The name like Chuck Woolery. I'm like, what the?
Oh, just perfect.
It was
Yeah.
perfect. Yeah. So anyway, so that's all our church announcements for that. We're gonna go right into the show. We're gonna go right into the funeral this time. That was the majority of we had the Scorpios and a few other things, but the funeral was, and we had the Kai and Trina stuff, but the funeral was the main thing. I just want to start. I'm gonna do the opposite and start with that this time. My opening remarks are I cried through half of it. So it was a little rough for me. I thought the performances were spot on. The folks who spoke made sense to me that spoke. There were a couple of people that weren't there, so I'm assuming it was budgets or something. Because I'm like, where's Laura? Where's Leo? There was people that weren't there. I appreciated the Ava and Lucas stuff. I appreciate that. And that's my opening statement. So, Frank, what is your opening statement?
Speaking of the Ava and Lucas stuff, it is interesting how Ava, I don't know, that she is just there to constantly remind Lucas, like, I am here, I am family, even if Lucas is, a little sour on the Jerome side of his family tree. Ava always kind of feels like a little bit offended by this. I don't know. Your aunt is still here. I'm still around. We should, be hanging out. So I thought that I think that's interesting in those scenes between the two of them. And for me, the highlight for the service itself was Spinelli. Uh, boy, that was my favorite one right there. I thought,
Mine too.
yeah, that uh, and props to Steve Burton for playing like just incredibly awkward up there, uh, talking about how he just didn't like speaking in front of people in situations like this. I'm like,
Love
man,
it.
all right, Stone Cold. Nicely
But
done.
he did it for his son. And I again, I'm giving props to the actor who plays Danny, the actor who plays Rocco, all the actors. The kid actors are doing good.
Yeah.
I'm like, all righty. I'm like, okay, I'm down. I mean, they were good. They were good. And so when sorry, Jason, it was supposed to be awkward, right? It's supposed to be kind of this awkward thing. It was like you just kind of stand there. Like it was, I loved it. And the clips they added again, they added some useful clips in there.
Hmm.
How young Spinelli and then I mean, I forgot how young Bradford Anderson was when he came on that show and how his character was just that surfer talk. I forgot all about that, right?
For sure. And how unlikely you would have thought him being together with Maximista would have
Right.
been. That just seemed like, yeah, okay, whatever, sure. To now, it's like, yes, this is such a clearly a great coupling of characters.
Thank you, David, for your super chat today. Thank you. Appreciate that. People say they cried. People say they love Danny. Rocco is impressive. Yes, I agree with you. The clips were good. Yeah. So I also appreciated, Frank, that they didn't sugarcoat stuff either. The Carly and Elizabeth talking, and how we have seen them go through a lot of stuff over the years, like literally have, and they have all kind of matured into like mothers because all their kids were kind of involved. And I love that they talked about how tough it was with them in the beginning. I mean, it was like I'm glad they showed those flashbacks. I actually enjoyed that part too. I thought that was actually very cool. There was no like whitewashing. We're always so close. No, they talked about how tough they were and how they kind of grew to actually be okay with each other.
It just was a reminder of like, it's been a while since you saw just like a good old soap
I,
opera slap.
oh, I know. I mean, if we were in person, Frank, I'd slap the shit out of you if I could. But right now, we're not in person. So,
I would
yeah.
have welcomed it.
Yeah. I was like, I forgot how good. I mean, just a good old fashioned "you're a whore" or whatever. They just like, I miss that. I miss it, you guys. I miss it. But I appreciate that they didn't sugarcoat that either. That it was like very much, and that actually Maxie opened the episode and she kind of spoke to Sam. She didn't need to speak a second time. I thought it was kind of cool that
Mhm.
she had her. That made me tear up a little bit, but it was a Spinelli one that got me. That got me. It was Spinelli. It was Spinelli. I mean, I'm just like of all again, it's like all the characters. How Spinelli could have been a one note nuisance to the fans. The fans love him, and he has weaved his way into a lot of us. And him and Sam had a lot of stuff. They were together. They were PIs together and stuff. I mean, it was really I just thought that was it's just like his just felt really heartfelt. I was like, wow. It's like it was amazing. And the fact that, and Dante and Dominic again is doing such a great job too, as kind of the lost, he's lost. That makes sense. It's like kind of like, well, now what? I mean, like, I was planning this whole thing, and then I guess like because it was so unexpected, I've had an unexpected loss before, and that's how you feel. You just feel like, well, I didn't plan this. Like this was kind of, but doing if someone's sick and you know they're going. When someone unexpectedly goes, you're kind of like, you're like, what's going on? And I kind of appreciate that Dante is he's kind of lost.
Yeah, and I do like that they're just emphasizing, and I feel like in a good way, just the family unit of Danny, Scout, and Rocco as like truly, while a blended family, but like these kids are really locked in with each other, which is great.
Love it. And it's a great message to send to people, obviously. I have had step siblings and that I was close to. So I do, and I consider them brothers and sisters like the rest of my family that I grew up with. So that's a real thing, and if you grow up together, it's for real. And I love that Rocco and Danny are like, no, we're brothers, no matter what happens. And we gotta look out for Scout. That whole scene later in the Quartermaine foyer was fun.
Hmm.
And how they talk to, I mean, you see now, okay, so we'll go, well, we'll build out a little bit. We can get back to the rest of the funeral stuff. We'll build out because I'm actually enjoying this storyline too. Kids, who gets the kids? Like this is I actually I'm enjoying this because to have that kind of reveal that it's an old will, but Drew is the one to have custody, and Jason like no MFers, that's not happening. Yet Jason is very much like, I want Danny to choose. Meanwhile, Alexis has her own, so she wants to take the kids herself. Granny wants to come in and take them. Meanwhile, Dante feels lost. He wouldn't mind continuing to raise them, but he knows he's not their fathers. So I'm loving, I mean, I love when Alexis was like, okay, I need both of you here. She took them both, Drew and Jason. That whole sequence, she's like, okay, folks, we can talk this out. And they both were tied. Oh my God, I'm loving this part because it is like a real big umbrella story. It's like, who gets, I mean, it looks like in the end, everybody's gonna be at the Quartermaine house, it looks like. So, which I don't mind that either. But how are your feelings on this whole piece of the family tree storyline?
I mean, it makes sense, to play into why Diane is not there at the moment, after, being all mopey and down in the dumps about, Robert leaving. That I could see like, oh, I just need a little time just to, do my own thing. Whether, she's out of whether she's out of town or, but it's also,
Should have been there. Sorry, she's been there.
yeah, it's Alexis's funeral, her best friend. She's not gonna just leave her high and dry on that as well. So it's odd for that reason about why her absence is. Uh, so I would be curious to see how long this plays out because I feel like it's like a readily like corrected situation where as soon as Diane is around, she's like, "Oh no, if you would have just looked on my desk, you would have seen the
Right.
updated will."
Yes. Right.
Yeah. And I feel like Dante is just waiting for. I feel like Dante wants everybody together still, but he's waiting. I think he just feels like he needs permission. And to
Yes.
know that it was in Sam's updated will that Dante should be overseeing the kids would then give him the permission to be like stepping in and speaking up and saying, yes, I want to take care of this family. Otherwise, right now, I feel like he's just being deferential to Drew and Jason, which
Yes.
probably so.
Rita Hughes goes, the Hughes house is going to be lit. It's like, there's a lot of folks in there. A lot. That Thanksgiving's going to be busy.
Which I do like, at least if in the meantime it's a reason to get Jason back in there, which is which is cool. He and Drew,
Were you shocked by that? That Jason said he'll move back in for his son.
uh, not only because for Danny, yes. I mean, I feel like if Sam was still around, yeah, none of this would even be an issue. But I feel like I do like how they're really just playing Jason how would wants Danny to get the same consideration that he would want to have gotten at that age too. It's like I'm old enough to make my choices. He should be able to make it as well.
Well, Sonny was like, get him, he's yours, get him, take her down. Like, Sonny, of course. And when he said that, who was it? So, of course he said that. I started laughing. Like, of course Sonny would say that. Get him, he's yours, so get him. And I'll be behind you, whatever, which is fine. They're friends. But I thought I like Jason's maturity in this, and I know some people were saying, not in the chat, but some people out there were like, "Why does he care all of a sudden?" Like, but he's telling you because Sam got into him, and so did Elizabeth about Jake. He's trying to do better. He's saying, "I'm trying to." He said, "I have no idea how to raise a kid." He's admitting it.
Yeah.
He's admitting it. But with Sam's death was so shocking that it's time that Jason is actually waking up and being there. So, but see, here's the thing, Frank. We had this talk on my Zoom yesterday, and Frank and I brought the we did a poll last week, and you got half, and literally half of you, just like our election, half of you did not want a Monica recast. You guys are bringing it up in the chat right now. With Jason moving back in the house, and Jason and Monica have a relationship with Jason, and coming home. Can you imagine those scenes? And then her and Drew are close to you. Like I'm just her seeing that with both her sons. I'm sorry, I don't know what's going on with Lizzie Charleston. I don't. Someone says we should go to her house, film it at her house. I mean, I'm somebody said that a lot. I was laughing. Um, but I think it's going to be Tracy and Jason having a moment. I think actually, I heard that somewhere for Thanksgiving. But going back to Monica, we did a poll, and it was almost half and half. Half said no recast. So then, what do you do if Leslie Charlton is not acting?
Yeah, it's true because how could you not want a scene of Monica and Jason? Monica has wanted nothing more than the whole
Exactly.
time that Jason to come back home, and now he is.
Yes.
Yes, not that while the circumstances surrounding that return aren't the best, the fact that he's still home, uh, something that you would never have thought Jason Morgan would ever do is like moving back into the Quartermaine
Right.
residence.
It's monumental.
Yeah,
We get it. I'm on your side, folks at home. I would love. I'm just what I'm saying. For whatever reason, she's not filming.
yeah.
So I don't know what we're supposed to do. Our hands are tied. I'm like, I'd rather have a recast. Someone brought up Erica Slezak, who played Vicky Lord Buchanan. I'm
Oh,
like, I can see that. She's a good actress, right age, everything. But they're
but
saying she's hard, but she's Vicky. It's like she's Vicky. She's too recognizable. I don't know. I try it out. I don't know.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's. But are we ever gonna see, Vicky from One Life to Live again ever? Yeah,
I
who knows? We don't know.
don't know. So I'm just saying.
So,
I'm just like I may be wrong, but it's unlikely. How do you like wear that shirt today, Frank? But you
and
know what
while
I mean?
and a Tracy Jason scene, great for sure. I'm always down for any scene with Jane Elliott in it. It's not gonna have just the same kind of
I know.
emotional impact as a scene of Monica and Jason or
I know.
Monica and Drew.
But folks, I think there's more going on. We just can't do it. Um, I love the way Jason and Dante, this is Sandy Moon. Hi, Sandy Moon, great name. I love the way Jason and Dante were able to talk like caring fathers. They,
Yes.
they just sat down. It was a conversation. Well, they have nothing against each other. They've never had anything against. I mean, they have nothing against each other. Jason and Sam were totally broken up by the time they got together. Well, Jason was dead, but either way, the whole point is they were broken up before that, also. And so there's nothing, yeah. And even Dante and Drew have nothing against each other because Drew let it. He had no problem. There's no problem with them. But Drew's going to go to Washington, and you saw Scout he said, I don't have to go. I can stay here. So literally, that's fine. He has custody of Scout. She's staying there. Now it's just Dante and Jason working together, getting together. That's all. And now Lulu's woke up, which we'll get to that in a second. That was hilarious. We'll get to that in a second. I thought of you, Frank. That was hilarious. We'll get to that. Yeah, Jason saved Dante's life. Dante knows what it feels like to come back from something, which he's mentioned before, and how Sam saved his life. He came back from the PTSD and all that. Someone's saying Kim Zimmer as Monica. Possibly. These are great actresses. These are all great actresses. But again, half the folks said they don't want to recast. So I'm like, I don't know. I think a good recast could work. It won't be exactly the same, but that even there's scenes I think that are needed.
For sure.
Um, And so I'd rather have it with a recast, without nothing acknowledged. Um, there are some scenes that might require Monica to be physically present. I know exactly.
Yeah. I don't know. Yes, it will not hit that sweet spot as much as if it was Leslie in the role,
Right,
Monica in those scenes. Yes, absolutely. I mean, that would be, the ultimate, thing to happen. But, given what seems to be real life circumstances of her not being readily available, I would at least take scenes with a great actor in that role to give me those moments of, Monica and Jason or Monica and Drew, or the three of them together, than not to have that to always then be wondering the whole time, like, where is Monica? Why isn't she here?
right. And all those folks moving in, that's hilarious. I love full Q house. Why not? I think it's why not? That's what we were wanting more focus on the Qs for years. Uh,
Hmm.
Getting it. At the same time, we're getting all these cast of character underneath this stuff going on. So we have the whole Drew, and so I had much this one scene that made me just chuckle because they've ruined Curtis's character on the show. They just ruined it. In my opinion, I'm hashtag John L for life, but they ruined his character. Um, Michael has no shame. He's just like, and you said this and said that and blah blah blah. And she's like, I don't believe you. You would never do that. I'm like, oh my, you're a lame duck. You're gonna find. He did say that. We saw him say it. He's not giving it to you. And like I said, you go back to wellness. I was like, oh yeah, not that storyline. Oh my god. Um, but he's like, you're not getting it. He's like, hello, team up with me. Let's just do it. And he's like, oh, I'm not. I'm revenge. I'm like, okay, Curtis. But wait till he finds out it was true.
Yeah. Hey, Drew wants somebody with C-suite experience, and that's not you. It's going to be somebody else entirely. I'm like, oh, all right. But I got to give it up for Michael, at least, reaching out and saying like, no, 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 this is what's going on, dude. I'm not gonna let Drew think he can just buy my silence
Right.
with
And he's
the
all like, you don't seem surprised about my marriage.
yeah.
Curtis wasn't, obviously, because he knew. But I just thought it was kind of funny. So he went straight to Curtis and told him straight out. That's okay. I like the fast pace. Let's not pussyfoot around. But
Uh,
I think the character of Curtis looks dumb.
what I do love is he's like, I wanted to talk to you kind of like someplace quiet, like Sonny's gym. It's like, yes, at least somebody's admitting that there's really no more than like three people in this gym at any one
There
time.
isn't any time. There isn't. Oh, wait, I just laughed and he was in there with what's his name? With I almost said Zach. What's his name? Dax.
Oh
Dex.
yes.
They had their moment of bonding.
Oh,
Yeah, and speaking of cues, but then yet they do this weird scene between Gio and Trina. Like, are they still going for that? Like, I'm like, I don't understand what's going on.
I
It was
mean,
like,
unless they're trying a triangle, maybe.
yes. But then I'm like, okay. So they're doing okay, let's break it down, Frank. Okay, this is what's going on, folks. So we got the classic Trina, not like the whole meet cute, not liking the man at first. Everybody thinks he's hot stuff. So they're doing that. Whatever. I don't care for that, but that's a trope that Frank happens. So okay, so then that means chances are she's gonna start liking Kai at some point. Because John's like he's so hot. But meanwhile over here, Jill just flitting around. I don't know what he's just playing violins and shit. I didn't play a violin at the funeral. That's what I was like, I didn't play a violin. He did at the end, whatever. I
I
didn't
mean,
need it.
well, hey, James, I will say right after Spinelli's, little speech at the funeral, yeah, Gio's violin playing was right there, just
Ugh,
right there.
I didn't need him. Anyway, so he walks in on cutesy Trina dancing around. They had a sweet. It was a sweet moment. It was a nice, sweet moment. People in the chat seem to like him. I mean, I have a problem with him. Again, you're saying I don't know what they're doing with him. I was like, they're kind of like he's kind of floundering around. He's kind of eavesdropping at the house, and that's it. But I'm like, okay, so I guess we're going that. I guess that's gonna be a triangle, possibly. I guess.
Yeah, because it's weird, like, because Trina's got, I mean, not much of a story, but she's got her family situations and she's getting some kind of story with football player, whatever.
Yeah.
And there's Joss with her life and she's got situations with Dex and the family. Geo, I don't know. Like he doesn't have any sort of kind of driver for why he's there. I mean, we don't really see any storyline that's kind of central around him. Even a minor, even like a little minor thing for him that we could see every so often, but there is nothing about
So,
it.
so we have that, but it's also, I mean, folks last week, get mad. We have, because we have some people just kind of flitting around. So meanwhile, back at the ranch, we have Isaiah, but he talked to Molly, and there was a little chem test there. Yet homeboy's still around. TJ's kind of he's like they're fighting, they're kind of estranged, but trying to be together. Meanwhile, Jordan's thirsty and hungry for Isaiah too. There's a whole thing there, and so you got that. So I'm like, with Molly, but at first I thought they were trying to do Molly and Dex. There was a chem test there several times, really hard with them. Meanwhile, it seems like they're done with the Dex Christina stuff. Like, I feel like that's done.
Yeah.
And I will say, I enjoy Christina and Joss's conversation.
Yeah. No, I mean, that was nice that it felt like it had been, there really hadn't been any chat with them since the whole falling out the window kind of thing with them. So yeah, it was nice to get those two back together in each other's orbits. And not to say that they need to be best friends, but they are family. So yeah, I mean that
They
means
said our brother
that's right.
Morgan. They said it together. Justice for our brother Morgan.
I
And
mean,
that's
Christina's
that
already
I
just
actually like.
yeah, Christina, a little of her goes a long way with me just for this. Like she's got just these goggles on, or these blinders, where it's just like it's got to be Ava's got to be convicted for all this to work out. And for as much as Rick can be a jerk, which is great,
I
uh,
love it.
I appreciated his motivation that he wrote, that he said to Ava, like the reason he's doing this is that sometimes there is not a person to blame. There's just a series of just bad
Uh,
situations that all kind of piled up onto each other, and there's no one necessarily at fault. But it's still a terrible situation.
well, like when Molly told Alexis what her father said, because Molly's like, "No, my dad is a good. He's good. He's a good lawyer. Blah blah." But he says he's doing it for me too, to give me closure. And I was like, and everything he said made sense to me.
Hmm.
I think it really, we were there. Obviously, it was a bad accident. It really was. It wasn't Ava's fault, and she came over there ready for bear. So Christina should have went over there. And that's why Molly, when I'm testifying, she said to her, "You're kind of rash. Like she can't hide all the feelings. It's not like she wants Ava to pay too, but she's kind of like she's always been like, but Christina should have went over there. That's always been her stance. Remember,
Yeah.
you were pregnant. You were 8 months pregnant. What were you thinking? So I think back her mind's always be sitting there like Christina did this. And I love me some Rick Hurst, so I don't care. He's a bomb. When him and Alexis got into it before the funeral. Dug that knife in her a couple of times. I was like, oh my God, he has no shame. They both have no shame. But she stormed out there all upset at him, and that's his daughter. She goes, yeah, the daughter, you forgot her birthday. I mean, it's like, what, hello, I'm here for, like, it's like, they forgot her birthday. TJ's like, I forgot her birthday. How do you think it's somebody's birthday? I'm sorry, I don't care what's going on. There's a lot going on, but they forgot her birthday.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
No, come on, Alexis. Come on, TJ. You
I
know,
know.
ugh. I mean, Alexis, I will give a little bit more charity to because it was her daughter that got killed. And so yeah, so maybe Alexis is not operating, but like TJ, come on, buddy. What else do you, there's not, that's nothing else going on.
But I'll tell you, it's interesting because that I'm curious to see how that plays out. Obviously, I think Ava will be innocent. Obviously, we keep her on the show, but I think it'd be interesting to see because Christina really is angry at Ava,
Yeah.
but Molly is too on some level. They seem to bond over that a little bit, but I can see Molly going, "Well, oh well, I guess we didn't win." But I feel like Christina is not going to let it go, and her father asked her to come work with him.
Yeah, I thought that was weird. Like that came out of really nowhere. It's like, are we not talking about, Charlie's that aren't do you still not have a job over there still? Maybe?
I guess not.
Uh
And she's also not doing the house anymore, the gay lesbian house, apparently.
yeah. I mean, I mean, story-wise, I guess I see why, because it, puts her in orbit for other stuff that you might want to do with her, as opposed to, I mean, gosh, when was the last time we were ever at Charlie's? It's been
All time. That's previous regime. I think Charlie's gone. I think they don't want to do it anymore. That was because we don't have any. What you don't have, we don't have Homegirl anymore. All that, all your favorite Nixon Falls, all that's dead.
yeah. R.I.P. Phyllis.
Get rid of that is dead, Frank. You wanted it. You wanted it dead. Come
That's
on,
right.
not to wish. But Charlie's was part of that. Remember, because Homegirl got a job there, and I think they're killing all that.
But it's also where like, because I mean, Christina a while back did a Corinthos coffee bit,
Yeah,
and that really went nowhere. So I don't know what Sonny's thinking like this time around is going to be any different, and that Christina would be like, yeah, this is something I should be doing. But if it's going to be like a way to segue Christina into the mob world,
same.
and we just see that she uses, the not guilty verdict of Ava as a way to kind of fuel her into seeing how else I can make Ava pay that is not necessarily illegal. Sure.
Right. That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking this is just a stepping stone into that.
I mean, which is true because we've never seen any of Sonny's children, one, he doesn't seem like he wants to get them involved, but two, none of them have been like actively like, yeah,
Right.
get me more into this lifestyle.
And she's the most like him. Now, and that would put her at odds with Dante, who she's close with, but
Hmm.
that would put her at odds with. I mean, like, it can open up storyline if
Yeah.
done correctly, storyline. So I thought him asking her, dude, I was shocked also. I thought there's something bigger than that going on. I could
I mean, but realistically, James, let's talk like Christina's ability to be a great eventual mob boss. I don't think very good. I don't think she's got the mindset to be able to. Like she's too hot-headed. I mean, Sonny can be hot-headed at times as well too, but I mean, Sonny can also be a little bit more strategic. I don't. I think Christina's got all the worst tendencies of Sonny.
which at some point maybe she matured. Maybe it's how she matures. And it's the wrong way because it's in the mob.
Yeah.
But maybe she does, maybe she's the one who really does take over. Maybe Sonny really apprentices her and she becomes like this great. Who knows?
Yeah. Ooh, like I mean,
I don't
could
know.
be.
But people are saying Sabrina says, I think Ava's gonna get off. I think so too.
Yeah.
Christina's gonna try and kill Ava and gets caught. I think I think Christina's not gonna let it go that easy. I think Molly will let it go, but I think Christina won't. I think she's too she is so singularly focused on this. And I think she won't. But I have a feeling well, we're gonna get some good courtroom scenes.
Yeah, I predict that Christina there will be some below it from Christina at some point. Yeah, she will melt down.
Yeah. Because Alexa's upset because she's mourning. I mean, even Christina, they're upset. They're mourning their sister and the daughter. I mean, of course they're all upset. So it's a double whammy, but and I can't see them shipping Ava off to jail. It wouldn't serve any purpose. And they have the jail set, but I mean, I don't think they're gonna do that.
No, 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 no. I mean, I feel like there because we need Ava out so that she and Rick can start dating.
Yeah. That's what
Uh,
like,
we need that going on.
everyone's like, Ava needs to pay for Morgan and Connie. Here's and it's gonna be an unpopular opinion. You can all kiss my grits, I don't care. I feel like Ava did pay for Morgan with losing Kiki.
Hmm.
I feel like losing almost a child for a child because she had nothing. She didn't kill Morgan. Yes, she had some play in there. And they didn't kill Kiki. It was actually Kevin killed Kiki, obviously. It's who she was. Well, it wasn't Kevin, it was what's his name? Ryan. I feel like that was an eye for an eye almost. And then so at least for that, Connie is a different story. But for Morgan, I feel like she did pay by losing her son, losing her daughter. She feels that pain all the time.
Yeah.
Losing a child, she did, and Kiki wasn't innocent either, kids. So let's forget about all that. But for Ava, she lost her child, and the fact that she doesn't have full custody of Avery, that's she's still kind of paying for that a little bit. So I'm just like, so for me, I feel like it's all everybody's to pay. It's like, well, no, she may not be in jail pay, but it's almost worse. You have to live with the pain of what you may or may have done, and then live with the fact you have a loss. Like they all lost something. Like nobody won. I don't maybe an unpopular opinion, but I feel like Ava did pay a bit, but when she lost Kiki.
Well, for sure. I mean, and I feel like that is something that the writing has done a great job of. Like, that's always part of Ava's worldview now. When she's
Yeah.
talking with anybody, especially when it comes to like child related stuff,
Oh yeah. Yeah.
uh, that always plays a part, which is I think which is great. It really kind of shows how impactful that was on that character. The
Oh,
Connie stuff, I agree.
so go ahead.
The Connie stuff, I agree. It just seems like you know, you know, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, but it's also part of her initial entry into the show too. I mean, where the show takes her so far,
Yeah.
and you're trying to feel like, well, much like Valentine or anybody else, you give them a super over the top act, and then, but we're keeping this character around. How do we reel it back where it's at least acceptable that she can be walking around and
Yes.
nobody's killing her?
Because remember, Jason's a cold-blooded killer. We don't know who they are, but he's walking around killing people. And Sonny killed AJ. He walked around. Oh, some folks agree with me. Oh, I'm actually surprised. Some folks didn't. I was not. I thought for sure you guys were like yelling at me, like, "No, James, you're fucked." You guys actually agree with me. Okay, good. So you guys agree with me. I do. I just feel like once she lost Kiki, that kind of balances out the Morgan stuff because she had her own super loss that was out of her control. Um, but there are a lot of folks walking around there that kill people. They're walking around. I'm like, hello. And I like literally killed the man who should not be mentioned. I'm not gonna mention his name. Let him bleed or whatever to death. I mean, come on. I mean, it's like this. They've all done something on there. So I mean, I know, but Daisy Flowers, like Ava has not paid for either or Morgan. We're going to, Daisy's going to agree, disagree with that. But your reaction, I'm used to. I'm used to that reaction. So, but
Yeah.
I would highly disagree.
And we also look at Felicia. Never seen Felicia lose a wink of sleep over her involvement with your boy falling
Nope,
down, taking that
not at
tumble.
all. Not at all. I'm just like, some of them killed folks and then life went on. And that's it, kids. I mean, it's part and parcel of life in Port Charles. So I just, and the counting thing is kind of a little weird. I get it. So then who is it? Who is it, right? I don't know. I just, I don't know. I feel like Ava's such a complex character that there probably will be folks like Daisy Flower who believe she is not paid for either. And that's fine. Certain characters, that's fine. But I think in the end, okay, in the end, she has come far a long way. Same with Valentine. He came on, he had killed Nicholas, so to speak, killed him. Remember, folks? That was the whole thing. Shot him, threw him over the thing. He was really dead. He came back, obviously. But now everybody loves Valentine. Valentine's a great guy. He's a great character. Everybody loves. So I think it just adds more to them. So I don't think you ever want to see them really pay. Like, do you really want to see them pay? I mean, it's boring. They pay. It's boring. You want to see them. I want to see them walking around and see what they can get away with. That's just me, Frank. I don't know.
Well, and I mean, I think uh, I agree. The verdict for Ava will be not guilty, but just because she's been found not guilty in the eyes of the law, that doesn't mean that everybody is going to instantly, switch their mind and think like, well, Ava's great now.
Right.
They're like, there are always going to be people that, regardless of guilty or innocent, are going to believe that Ava's responsible for what happened with Christina's baby. Uh,
True.
and that'll be Christina number one.
Yeah.
We'll always believe that.
Queen Chat was like, "Oh, Sabrina, I can't wait for Christina to call Irina Della on the stand."
Yeah.
Molly flinches when she hears her say that. She does.
Ugh.
Oh, it's like, oh my God, that's just yeah. That's a they're going to be broken for a while. That whole family's been broken for a while. I want to switch off to something really quick because since I found it, I thought it was very cute. Speaking of past and present, the Scorpios. We had Mac and Felicia welcome Sasha in, and they talked about Cody, folks. Like there was no, they're not hiding away from it. They're talking about it. But they talked about Holly and how she's family, and and there was adventures, and Robert sent a letter that was kind of sweet, and she has his phone number she can call anytime. So they really are trying to go. They're going forward. This Frank, they're going forward.
It's I mean, I guess we need to really see how it works. I can understand, like, certainly Sasha's reluctance to want to get into the mix of family events because just how Cody and Sasha, handle that segue from like, from potential relationship to be like, oh no, we're just cousins. That's it. And whether the show is, good with that, or we're gonna go full into like, guess we're gonna get a little freaky here on daytime, and we're gonna have these two
They did
guys.
it on Guiding Light. They did it on Guiding Light. I just don't think Jason's going to go there. I don't know.
I mean, on Guiding Light, did they call it creepy ahead of time, and they still went with it,
Yeah,
or
they're first cousins. They weren't raised together. They were first cousins, just like this. And it was Reva and her sister Cassie. It was their children. It was Jonathan was Reva's and Tammy was Cassie's. So, but they weren't raised together. They met as adults, and they were full on together.
were
I
people
remember
talking
what
about
happened. I
how
was like,
creepy it was?
"What?
Were people talking about how creepy
Oh
it was?
yeah, oh yeah, they did. People did. Yeah, people did.
All right. I mean, within the show, not
Yeah,
in.
yeah, yeah, no,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, oh, yeah. There are people who were against it, and there's a whole storyline with Lizzie. There's all I won't get to all that mess. But some of you guys who watch, I know what I'm talking about. But it was the fans loved it for some reason. The fans bought it. This was pre-social media, so they
Hmm.
didn't have that. But it was like they bought this. They did have kind of chemistry. I thought it was freaky. They did have chemistry, and
Uh,
I just doubt that this show is going to go there like that. I mean, it'd be a trip if they did go there. That would be very interesting. I just don't think they will.
I don't know. Can you in 2024
Right.
do that? I don't know.
I'm gonna do a poll. We're gonna do a poll.
Oh,
Yes.
all right.
Okay. Let's see. Where's my poll? I'm gonna do a poll, Nancy. Can they do cousins love today?
You're running social media around. I just don't think the answer is yes on that.
Here we go, kids. Can they do cousins love today? Yes or no? Go ahead and vote. I'll see what you guys are thinking. Cousin love, kissing cousins. Oh, let's see what you guys think because I'm very curious because Sasha and Cody can move to Kentucky. Um, who's the father of Sasha's baby? But I think it's Michael. I'm thinking make it Cody.
Because Cody and her had never slept together.
Right. I don't
So
think they.
yeah, it would only be Michael, and we don't even know if she is pregnant. I mean, she's just taking a
Yeah,
test.
I'm saying a test. We don't take tests. I wonder if Sasha will say the baby is Michael's or some random to say her. It's Cody's, even though they didn't sleep together. Um, I think there's enough people in Port Charles who can stop the incest storylines. For ashes. I'm just saying. Back in the late 2000s, they went there on Guiding Lights. There was their first cousins. But they made it clear they didn't grow up together. They weren't raised together. They met separately, and that they couldn't help themselves. Even when they thought they were cousins, they couldn't help themselves. So I'm like, I don't know. Bold and Beautiful, I think, came close to something like that once. Like they've all slept together basically, but they kind of came close. They didn't do it. But no other show has done it. That's one of the few taboos that they have not touched.
Yeah.
They'll one person sleep the whole family. They'll do that, but they won't do two family members related. So right, okay, let's see what they're saying. Oh my God, I know. If there are fourth or fifth cousins, yes, somebody says that's so funny. Um, Right now, it's a resounding no. I mean, it's a landslide. There's some yeses, but it's a landslide.
Yeah, and I mean, at least the way the show's playing it now, I don't think they would go that direction. I feel like if they were trying to set seeds up that, like, hey, even though it's like kind of it's wrong, they can't fight their love. But the show has really kept them separated since this kind of really came out.
Have. Now, back in the day, folks, I'm gonna take you back, folks. I'll take you back. There was Sheila Quartermaine and Jimmy Lee Holt. They were related. They were like third or fourth cousins. She was a Quartermaine cousin, and they were related, but they weren't related first. They were first cousins. This was of course in the '80s. But Jimmy Lee Holt was a illegitimate Quartermaine, but they had blood with each other. But they weren't super. They were I think like fourth or fifth cousins, like that. It was like way down the line. He was a relative of Edwards, so she was a relative of Edwards. So they did kind of go there for a minute, but it wasn't like this. But you're
Yeah.
right; they kept them separate. They've kept the characters of Cody and Sasha not even in the same room.
Yeah, and so I mean, I don't know. I mean, Sasha, I mean, I guess it makes sense for her to be pregnant because that adds more drama into the story. If she's not pregnant, then, what's the big deal?
David 70 says FDR and Elder were third cousins. Yes, they were third cousins. I read books on FDR. Yes, they were third cousins. I mean, the royal family's all related. I mean, it's kind of there. I mean, yes, I get in real life there are situations where, yeah, that's why he says the royal family exactly. They said, but see, they feel like if it were the Jeromes or the Cassadines, it would work, not the Scorpios for some reason. That's what Jennifer 792 says. I don't know who
Yeah,
you
are
are.
Scorpios, soap opera royalty.
I think they are, right? I'm gonna end the poll. Everybody's like, no. They're like, fuck that shit. They're like, no.
Look at that. People can come together on that, but they can't come together on
Right.
cast.
Right. They're like, nope, no cousins. No cousins do that. So I get it. I get it. Um,
Yeah, so I mean, I was down with Mac and Felicia. I mean, having those scenes with Sasha, giving Sasha more of a family structure within Port Charles. Given that Michael's leaving the show, I would be curious to see what's going to be happening with this pregnancy. If it's real, I feel like if he was sticking around, then I would think that she would be pregnant. But if she is leaving, or if he's leaving, I don't know what is gained by keeping the pregnancy, unless it's like who else she's going to say might be the father. But it would seem weird not to have Michael around for that.
right. I have no clue. I have no idea. And I feel like there's so many ways. Again, Michael leaving just puts a wrench in a lot of stuff. I don't know. That's it. It's a very I don't know.
Yeah.
Can't say, Frank. I have no. I mean, they could write that. There's certain ways they could write it. They could write it. Also, she's a single mom. He left, but she's embraced by the Quartermaines and the Scorpios because it's another heir to the. I mean, who knows?
Hmm.
Maybe her and Willow. I mean, who knows? I have no idea. I have no clue. Because remember, still, folks, we got Drew and Willow, but we also have Nina and Drew, and Nina and Willow. All that has to come out too. That all has to come out. That's still sitting over there too. So we have no idea. I mean, how's it all gonna play out with Michael extricating himself out of there? What does that do, Frank? I don't know. I mean, it takes a person out that's very important. He's a key element in there. Why? Yeah, I have no idea how they're gonna write this. I mean, maybe they have something clever up their sleeve that we don't have nothing about. I feel like with Sasha, this is why I like those scenes. Finally, Sasha had some good stuff.
Yeah.
Homegirl been through the ringer, folks. This actress and her character, seriously, the last 5 years or so, this bitch has been through the ringer. It's like I think all of us wanted to have some kind of good news. Like, fuck, you want to have some good news. And so it felt nice that she was like, well, we'll embrace, take you in. You're a family now. The whole thing. I'm like, good. Like, let's give Sasha. So she has a baby. Maybe it's her miracle baby, or as they say, rainbow baby, or whatever they call it, the one after the one that left. Maybe it's just. I mean, maybe it's just for her. Maybe the storyline's about her having a baby, and she has plenty. I mean, Sunny and them thinking for his family still. I mean, she has a lot. She's cooked to a lot of people also.
Yeah.
So I think maybe that's the story, or maybe she's not pregnant and it's just a false alarm. But I feel like she needs some kind of good. She's had so much happen to her. I'm like, come on, come on. I know folks in chat and people are still thinking Sasha's not really Roberts or Ethan is not really Roberts. I think everybody is who they are. I don't. I'm sorry. I don't think they're going to change history. I think Ethan is still Holly and Luke's, and Cody is still Max, and I don't think there's been any foul play. I think it is what it is. I think the new writing machine said, "This is what we want to do. Here's how we're going to do it."
Yeah, it's hopefully, whatever situations that Tristan are dealing with, that means, he can be more of a part of the show back in 2025. Because
Right.
it would be great to be able to see a Sasha and Robert relationship develop on camera as opposed to just happening like through phone calls that we never get to see.
Well, we're curious. We don't know what Tristan Rogers' deal is. I have no
Yeah.
idea. We have no idea what his. I guess we'll have to find out what his deal is, and then see if like a Leslie Child, is he coming back? They haven't made any big announcements about him,
No,
so I haven't heard anything through my grapevine. I've not heard anything major, so he could come back. He had
I
to go
hope
off
so.
with Holly for a while, and then give the character a rest, and which again, I'm fine with giving people rests because it's a large cast. So let's get some people some time to have their time in the sun. I really don't want to see a Nina Drew Willow triangle. Well, it's too late, girl. You're getting it. It's already happening, basically. It's already started.
Oh, for sure. And,
It's already
and
started, basically. I mean, but how they handle it will be interesting because Willow can't say nothing, and then Nina. I mean, well, Nina was. I don't think they're gonna bring back together to pull them apart again. I don't. I think something different's gonna happen. I think. I don't know anything, but I think.
there's part of me that would like to see Drew and Willow get together though, because then you get to see Willow's uh you know like the light slowly coming on to Willow when she realizes like, oh, Drew's not this guy I put on this
Right.
pedestal for so long. Drew's just like a regular guy. And any of these kind of issues, that these kind of bored feelings I might have had with Michael, I am also gonna have kind of like these same kind of things with Drew.
Didn't TJ say something when he was having lunch with his mother? You need to pick some new friends. She was like Drew a little crazy. She was like, oh, you and I are friends. It is. I was like started laughing because remember, folks, that's on the table too. Drew and Willow, Drew and Nina, and Drew and Jordan. That's still on the table. They had them hug a long time when he won the election. So I'm like, that's not dead completely. That can totally be revived up. There was a chem test and it seemed to work. People were like, "Oh, we like them," but they changed Drew's character so much. Maybe she makes him a good man out of like you never know. I mean, maybe her and Isaiah. Maybe something happens where she's trying to get close to Isaiah, but he's drawn to Molly and she gets drawn to Drew. Who knows if they write? There's so they can write so much stuff. There's so much stuff they can write. I mean, I don't know. I just want to stop for a second and pee. Just kidding. I want to stop for a second and just say, everybody, there's 70 folks watching us. 70. Thank you so much. We are your number one source for live GH entertainment on Sundays. I'm being shady, of course. Yes, there are other live shows on Sunday GH shows, but we are the original long running live. I'm saying live, not the longest running of all, but long running. And also, I do want to mention Take Two Radio. David's in here. They're ending after 12 years because the platform they use is ending. That blog spot radio is ending after all these years. It's ending. So they're actually ending their show. But they said stay tuned. You never know what's going to happen in the future. But I just want to I've been on their show a couple times over the years. I want to give them a shout out.
Man, if you've spent 12 years doing it and you're still enjoying it, I hope they do not let the end of the platform stop them from continuing doing something that they enjoy.
I agree. I said that today. Right? I said if you like doing, there's other platforms to do this stuff. But I just want to give a little shout out because they made the announcement and it was like 12 years. It's a long time. And I just want to give shout outs to like Brock TV, who was before us, but he doesn't do live, or he doesn't do like we do. But he's great. He's been doing reviews. GH Envy, which you've had on the show years ago, he's been doing reviews for a long time. Our girls here to chat for a GH Sunday shift, 10 floor GH, of course, and all them. So we know we love our peeps and Pier 54 and all them. But however, when it comes to live entertainment on a Sunday afternoon, we are number one, bitches. We get the numbers. They don't get the numbers. We get the numbers. We get the numbers. I don't make this shit up. We just show you and I show up. We show up. We do a show. So yeah, that's
Well,
our
they
shape.
come for you. They adore me, James, but they love you.
Yeah, they adore you. They just tolerate me.
No.
I was told once. I think it was 2 years in. A fan wrote, "I'm sure James is a good producer, but he shouldn't be a host." I'm still here, but I was like, no, I'm telling you, I'm still here. So you get rid of me. They were like, yeah, he's a good producer. And one person was, I'm sure you trained them, which I did really train them. Yeah, I'm sure you trained them well, but Jimmy and James should stick to producing. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you.
I mean, the JLJ boot camp,
Oh my God. And look who pops in, Matthew Theall on 1048. He writes, of all the times to pop in and say hi. Yeah. As I was being shady. I love it. I'm openly shady and Shady Sunday. We do. That's what we do. I said I love you guys at the same time. You guys do all my shows. I'm just keep in mind, folks, we are the long running originals, OGs. That's all.
But David, please, yes, keep doing your show. Find a new platform. Keep doing it if you still love doing it.
Yeah, David. If you still, he's in the chat. If you still like doing the show, just change platforms. There are other call-in platforms, I believe. There's one called, oh my God, I'm blanking on the name of it. I also want to call it, not Casino. It's like Camino or some Cambio or something that I know Bold and Beautiful uses, but they did Bold Live. But there's other call-in pro. If you still want to do call-in, we don't do call-ins here. We used to at AfterBuzz TV. No, we don't do that. FPL goes, we copied you, no doubt about it. Yes, I love it. Take two, yeah, take two, keep going. They're saying, yeah, everybody saying in the chat, take two, keep going. Frank and I'll be hitting 10 years next year, so we're still doing it.
Yeah, I'm already, just making space on my mantle.
There you go for 10-year fund. That's right.
10-year baby.
9 years of service, Frank. 9 years of service. Me, James Lott Jr. Yes, I love it. Oh, that's so funny. This I adored white chocolate Frank. That's right. He's white chocolate. For last time, he has white chocolate. That's right, kids. But no, we love it. So, but 77 people are watching. No, we appreciate you spending your Sunday with us. We appreciate that. Do we miss anything? Is there anything that I need to hit on?
There was we did that Lulu and Cyrus stuff. We got to dive into that.
Oh my God, yes. Okay, good. Okay. They want Frank in a tux for the anniversary special. Ooh, tux.
There you go.
Maybe we'll dress up. You never know, but we might dress up for 10 years.
Yeah. I mean, I can wear a tuxedo hat.
I have a chorus line hat and then bow tie. It's gold. You wear that. No, this part I thought of you, Frank. I laughed so hard. Lulu was like, this motherfucker is not my friend. She was like, get me out of here. And they did. I saw someone online, it's really good, did the original episode and paired it with the new one. So they did a remake of that scene, which I remember that scene with Lulu and with Cyrus. But she was like, get me out of here first. And then when he came back in, she's like,
yeah.
I love that whole, she knows who Cyrus is. That's number one. That's great. But Frank, what do you think about that? Lulu woke up. What do you think?
First, shout out to Shaggy Dante in that original clip.
Yeah, right. I know. Is that funny? He was standing behind there. He's like looking.
It would have been great if they would have gotten Dominic done up in that look again, just for that, just to see him get a little shaggy hair and beard. Interesting because I mean, great to be able to show that scene to show where Lulu's mindset is in terms of this is where her memories were last. This is where she's at.
Yeah,
That the one that she's got all her memories. It's not like I've got amnesia and like, who
yeah,
am I? What's going on?
yeah.
But it does give her a reason to act the way she's acting right now. I don't. I'll be curious to see what they're doing with Cyrus. Whether Lulu has like some deep dark secrets of Cyrus's that she had before she went into a coma that like Cyrus is like, whoa, I would never want her to be able to get that. Or has Cyrus really kind of, done a 180 and is more a kinder, gentler version, and Lulu just needs to get that information. I don't know. I would be curious to see which way they're going on this.
Yeah, me too. But I love that she was like, "Get me out of here!" And when he came back in, I want to see my niece. Like, we ain't friends. She was like, nope, nope. And folks, I'm going to say it on the show. This is Sunday. Give the bitch a chance. Let her act first, so you start digging into her. Let her get a chance to be Lulu Spencer. Let's see how she does it. Don't start attacking already. Shit. My nerves. I see people attacking her already. She just woke up. The actress just woke up. That's
Yeah.
all she's done on the show. She ain't done much. Let her get a chance to play the role, and let's see what happens. Alexa Havens, I liked her as Babe on All My Children. I liked her on Girl Meets World. I actually liked the actress, and the actress. I want to see what she does. I'm gonna give her full support and see what she does, and see what happens. So I'm just like, let's like give her a chance before you start piling on her. So I am very excited.
The only thing that I am kind of questioning right now is Cyrus's statement that Laura kind of like let him kind of take point in all this.
He
Like,
lied.
there is no way
Yeah, he lied.
that there's that Laura signed it. Like, yes, Cyrus, you take point on all of this.
Yeah, Laura lied. I mean, he lied obviously to get in there. So he has ulterior motives. Obviously, I think he does, which is fine. I like that he's morally ambiguous. I like that we're not sure about Cyrus. I don't want to be sure about him. Jeff Cobert did such a great job being creepy, and as Frank always says, inappropriate. Doesn't read the room. He
Yeah.
doesn't care. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He'll show up anywhere and does not care. I love it. He should have when Lulu was he should have for that too. And they're like, "What are you doing?" And and they're like, "What are you doing?" And like, he doesn't care. He would just show up and you just have to deal with it. I love that about him. Yeah, keep that going. So I'm like, yes, it was the most action packed waking up ever. It was Marlon. I'm telling you, I was laughing, but I thought of Frank. I wonder what Frank thinks about this whole opening thing. She's like, oh my god, they showed the scar.
Yes, where she starts peeling back the bandage and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, okay. I'm like, I'm in.
yeah. I mean, I guess if you woke up out of a coma after so many years, then the first thing you feel like is like some pain and there's a big bandage.
Yeah. You're like, what's going on? I mean, like,
Yeah, it's like one of those like horrible like being in Vegas and waking up in a bathtub with
yes,
like call
yeah.
911 in the mirror.
Sabrina, I said the same thing. It is said people can hear, take two. It is said people can hear people talking to them when they're in a coma. Could Cyrus have said something to incriminate him? And I'm paraphrasing here, but I said the same thing. So I'm like, what? I mean, the first I thought maybe he was brainwashing her, so to speak, like talking to her and he's like, Bible verses, and she'd wake up. That didn't happen because she was like, you nobody. She remembers that part. But Lulu has a lot to come to terms with when she wakes up and comes out. It's like she has a lot to deal with. Trust me, folks. And there's the Charlotte factor. Charlotte's still not home. Knows nothing about Sam. Knows nothing about which also is Valentine's cousin. Sam is his cousin too. And remember, Sam likes Alexis. They got along fine. Except with Sam. Valentine likes Alexis, but they got along fine. They were close at the end. So I'm sure he's upset he's not there. He doesn't know what happened to Alexis. I think he would be there for her. So we have the Valentine and Charlotte thing out there too.
Yeah.
So yes. And
I,
all
I will be interesting because I don't hopefully the show doesn't drag it out to start getting her up and about and interacting with other people.
Yes.
Because I feel like with Lucky, how many weeks do we have to see him just in that jail cell or playing poker? Oh, you
And
know,
now we see Lucky skulking around. Should I leave? Should I stay? That's getting my nerves right now too. Now I'm like Elizabeth. Um, you do what you gotta do. I'm not gonna sit here and hold your hand and give you permission. Just like you gotta do it. And when she had that talk with Aiden, and he was like, "Yeah, I know my dad. Aiden gets it already. So kids aren't dumb, and he gets it already. So it's kind of like I'm like, and yes, Cyrus and Lucky have not met yet.
no, which is yeah, no,
No, they have
no.
not met.
I mean, and Sonny has got something that he thinks might be enticing for Lucky. Uh,
Yes, right, that too.
yeah,
So we got some stuff. And so I mean, again, I'm liking how umbrella-ish this is. I like that there's so many different things that can go on. It can happen. Even though someone said we mentioned this last time we were on the show, how uncomfortable. Oh no, it was this week. Sorry, it was this week. How uncomfortable Lucky looked comforting Lucas. That's his cousin. They share the same name. It was
yes,
he had to be dragged in there by Elizabeth. That's his cousin. Both their names are Lucas Lorenzo. They're just saying that they have Luke's name. They both have the same name. It was crazy talk.
it is, and there's still, I appreciate a Shaggy do for
Yeah, but
sure.
folks, I got long hair. My hair's like whatever I'm ponytail now, but yeah.
But there's like Shaggy do, and then there's what's going on with Lucky, and I just like, man, there's got to be a better way of putting that hairstyle together. To just look at, he just looks unkempt all the time, no matter what he's wearing.
Guess we'll see what happens there. I
I mean,
look.
I feel like the WSB stuff, I don't know. Like, I mean, I feel like right now this is just being dangled as like a carrot, but I can't. I mean, they're not sending him back to Africa,
No,
so
he's not. Well, he's signed a long-term contract, so he's not going. My thing is more Brennan. I'm all in. So it doesn't
yes,
matter. I mean, it's like I thought I heard he was leaving at one point, but then they increased his. I mean, they're showing him he's in the credits. I'm like, maybe they. I mean, a good actor. We may hold on to him. GH, hold on to him. I think he's good.
yeah. I mean, there's something to maybe having Lucky and Jason and Brennan and Anna, that kind of little side of it. I'd be all down for that. The Valentine of it too, as well.
Right. We have the Valentine of it. That there's that also, right? It's not like there's Luke never had good hair, so he did okay. Luke had the fro back in the 70s. I love that fro, that curly fro. So you leave him alone. The 80s a little rough for him. I mean, the late 80s, early 90s were a little rough for him. Then he came into his own later, but
Uh,
that big fro, I will never forget it. I loved it. Back in the
when he straightened it as Bill Eckert.
Oh, that was rough. Woo, that was rough. Oh, that Bill Eckert character was rough too. That was a rough character. Woo, woo. Oh, I'm like, that was rough. He died in his own arms.
Oh, that man, still the
Uh,
best.
the best, no, not the best. But yeah, he a little rough. But we leave Luke alone. But I was going to speak of the dad, which is Luke's dad, not obviously not Anthony Geary. Lucky's son is gay, so nobody's going to talk to Lucas. Lucky's not interested in his son. Lucky, the way they're playing Lucky is so weird to me. It's like they're really making him this real asshole, and real bad father. It's like, wow. Even Luke. They showed that Luke had pieces of compassion when it came to his kids. He would go out of town, come back. I mean, they showed us a great version of that. He was on for the chase. He couldn't be tied down, domesticated. Yet, when it came to his kids, he was around them for them. He would
Yeah,
come around. That's like Lucky is just like he's just a deadbeat all around. Oh, deadbeat. I wonder if Dante is going to go back to Lulu down San Francisco. That's everybody's claiming it's going to happen. That may not happen. Who knows? I mean, that's the beauty of this. Be very curious because he is mourning Sam. That's a whole thing he didn't expect.
yeah, and I mean, I think you could go that route, but I don't think the show. I think you can't really rush it. Not when you've set up right now about how important Sam was to Dante. I don't think you could, flip a switch and be like, well, I guess I'll just get back with Lulu now.
I mean, she has choices. I mean, she could do Cody.
Yep.
They're around the right age. Anybody could be other people. Yeah, somebody else. I mean, who knows? But I mean, like
TJ.
TJ. That is something. Or Isaiah.
Yeah.
I mean, because Isaiah, he was looking at Elizabeth at one point too. Looking at Elizabeth too, little hungrily. I was like, oh, he's looking at Elizabeth too. That's his man's best friend's woman. But I'm like, who knows? The thing about it'll be curious to see which Lulu this is, and what they decide her recovery time will be, how long it will be, and then what profession will she go back into being a reporter. Because that whole newspaper stuff is gone basically off the show now.
Yeah.
I wonder what the new Lulu. I hope they make her more like a Spencer Lulu. That'd be like Julie B. Berman Lulu. That would be great.
For
Um,
sure.
yes, but also Devin. Hi, Devin. I agree with you. She's gonna have a lot of grief to process. A lot. So your man Kevin should be stepping right back in.
It's true.
She should be in, and should be some good sessions for her. I mean, she has so many. I mean, Spencer, and I mean, the man she was with Mary, he died. He died in that explosion. Then starting from that.
Yeah.
Bobby died. Her aunt Bobby died. I mean, like, there's just so much. There's just so much. Luke died. Her father died. There's
Nicholas is in
so much
jail.
she has to deal with. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Oh my god. She has so much. I think the writers are acknowledging that Lucky needs a reset from being a dead bat and starting to transform. They're starting to. I haven't seen it. I don't know what you're seeing, Jennifer. I haven't seen it, but we'll see. I hope so. I hope they are going to give us a journey of like Lucky finding his way back to his family, so to speak.
Yeah. I don't
Um,
know. It's tough because it feels like he's so distant.
yeah,
Well, it like when he's talking these scenes, like yes, he gets. I mean, the fact that he was ready just to bail on Lulu
yeah.
at the moment that they felt like the transplant wasn't going to be happening anymore. It's like, oh, I'm just going to leave, go back to Africa. Like, it's like
Like,
what?
oh, like hello.
I mean, it took Laura like begging him almost like, please stay with me, even if it's to say goodbye
Yeah,
to Lulu. Like it took that. Otherwise, he was gonna be like, nope, I'm just out.
yeah. It was just so. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. Yes, I haven't. I don't know what this the channel's going to do, but hopefully it'll be something really good.
Yes.
It'll be something good. So I think now we've covered. I think we got everything now. I think.
Yeah. I mean, fingers crossed. There's gonna be exciting stuff for the football player. You know,
I have nothing to say that I for me, I don't mind having Trina having a little romance. That's fine. That's what I mean. I have no problem with that. You tell anybody else, why not? I mean, I have no problem with any of that. So I have.
I guess one thing we didn't dwell on is that uh the autopsy from Sam coming in and supposedly like Liz
When
is
Liz, oh yeah, that whole thing with Liz, maybe I'm like, something's fishy in that too. I forgot about that. There's something fishy in that.
yeah.
There's a brother, nephew, and Ace. No, just a nephew. Oh yeah, no, yeah. Oh, well, it's just a nephew because the father is Nicholas. That's her brother. Ace is just her nephew. Yeah, just her nephew. Because her and Esme are related, just by marriage, they're not related. Um, Digitalis. Yeah, Digitalis. Yes, that's what it is. OD. Yes, Digitalis. Yeah, I'm not excited about all that, so we'll see what happens. I guess
No.
if it gives Liz a meaty story, okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm like that's not exciting me anything.
Well, if it ties into what happened with Lulu's respirator,
Yeah.
great. And it's a big, huge, somebody's trying to kill people at GH, cool. And
Real-
Lucas and Liz and Isaiah can be snooping around the halls of
Oh yeah, Laura adopted Ace. Okay, I guess her brother, but it's her nephew. And she's not going to treat as a brother. I don't think she's going to treat as a nephew. I think she will. I
yeah,
forgot.
yeah, no, I think you would look at it as because it's like because Nicholas is in prison right now, so that's
Yeah, he'll
essentially
be out. He'll get out. So yeah, I think Lulu will look at it as a nephew. But yeah, you're right. She but yeah she relates to him. So yeah, But yeah, no, I don't. I forgot about that. I don't know. We'll see what again. A hospital mystery. I'm all for it. This is called General Hospital, so I'd be for it. But
Yeah.
well, no, folks. All right, kids. That's everything. Next Sunday, I'm not sure. We might be here. I'm not sure. I might have a job that day. I'm trying to find out from them. I've left messages. I haven't heard from them yet. If it's going to be Sunday or Monday. If it's on Monday, then then Frank and I will do a show on Sunday. If it's not, then we'll see you after that. But happy Thanksgiving to folks if you celebrate. If you're
For
in
sure.
America and celebrate. I don't do turkey. I do game hens, as you know. Everybody knows every year. I'll be back. I'm not in LA now. I'll be back in LA. I leave tomorrow. Go back to LA. I'm very excited to go back home. Frank, what are you gonna do for Thanksgiving? What are you guys gonna do?
I don't know. I think we're just gonna make some mac and cheese, which we've already got from a place that we love in New York, and then
Oh
uh,
wow.
some steaks and some burgers, maybe.
Okay. Yeah. That's
Not
good.
big
So
turkey fans either.
yeah, we don't turkey. Don't dry ass turkey. Not doing all that. Not doing all that. But everybody, if you do celebrate, have a great Thanksgiving weekend. Just stay tuned, JLJ Media. I'll let you know. Again, I am on Blue Sky, folks. You can follow, and so is Frank. We're both over there. It's our name, Happy Old Jackie or
Yeah.
J. Lott Jr. You can follow us over there on Blue Sky. We are there. I
And
mean,
best of luck to your bank accounts on Black Friday and Cyber Monday.
I don't do any of that stuff, kid. I don't shop those days. Anything. I mean, Amazon's had a few deals already. You know how to do the free stuff already. And we were saying 21st through 29th. I'm like, okay. Um, am I going to move to Indiana if we get a studio? I have no idea. I know you've asked me that online. I have no idea what the future holds, kids. Just stay tuned. Everybody just stay tuned. And
That means yes, folks. He just doesn't want to tell you right now.
oh, Frank's emails. Thank
Oh,
you.
here we
Frank's
go.
emails.
Let's see.
There he is.
Up, up,
Oh,
up. Here we go. We're gonna have to do this first.
you
Uh,
have one behind you. That's so funny. Is it good?
it's red fun, James. Here, let me get rid of this. There is none. Here we go.
Okay, let's see. Well, you want to put 1,000. 318,478. 318,478. We're gonna hit 320 by Thanksgiving.
It's a miracle. It's
Yeah.
a Thanksgiving miracle, James.
Oh my God. It's the opposite of a miracle, but that's okay, kids. Okay. We'll get to 350 by the end of the year. It'll be crazy. So everybody's like, oh my God. But yeah, thank you guys. Everyone, take care of yourselves and each other, as I say that. We'll be back in 2 and 2. We're not.